So most people know me maybe as Bert the cop's wife, or that I've got 4 kids or 3 really cute grandkids that run around this place. But I want to share the impact that life groups can have. God made sure that He placed me with the perfect group. Even though whenever I very first walked in, I was thinking that there must have been a mistake. These people are the varsity team, and I'm not quite ready for the JV team. But God knew what He was doing. So something that I don't talk a lot about is my childhood. I was a foster kid. I was blessed with some really amazing foster families, but it is always really scary being a kid and being taken from your home and only being able to grab maybe a Walmart bag of your belongings or a trash bag to take with you to this new place. I had a lot of really bad things happen as a kid. Once that I was an adult, my caseworker told me that whenever they transitioned from paper files to the computer system in our county, that I had the largest file. I got really good at keeping all of those memories locked up in the back of my mind, kind of as a survival technique. But about 1.5 years ago, we found a church, but more importantly, we found a pastor that we loved and connected with, even though he's a Rams fan. Things were going okay. Then my daughter and her family, they were moving to go live on the border in New Mexico, and I got pretty sad and scared for them. But people kept telling me God will keep them safe, and this should have calmed me, but instead it made one of those boxes open up that I had locked away, and I kept remembering that as a little girl, laying in bed each night, praying for a normal life and for all the bad things to just not happen anymore. Then they would all still happen. So I thought maybe God didn't hear me because I'd fallen asleep while I was praying and I didn't say amen. Or maybe I just didn't know how to pray correctly. Anyhow, I was having a hard time with everyone telling me that everything was in God's hands and that He would keep my grandbabies safe, because I know that bad things happen to little kids. To add that, Richard was no longer at our church all of a sudden, and I was getting confused. Then Bryce and Mackenzie told me that we were having a little church service down by the lake, which was our first Sunday in what would become Shepherd's Heart. Leslie introduced herself to me that day, and I knew that this was the church family that I needed. Shortly after that, my daughter and her family moved back. Things were getting very good. Except it still bothered me that I had gotten so upset about people telling me that God would keep them safe, and that the thoughts were all trying to make me question God's love for me. Fast forward to my varsity team life group back here. I was still keeping things locked up, but now I have this amazing group that God definitely placed me with, and knowing that I needed these people. And the boxes were starting to open up, which is really scary for me, because I've always avoided therapy and anything that would bring back any of the memories. Then last Monday, Brian Greer asked a simple question of what can our life group do to help the community? And at that time, God said, "Speak, Vanessa." And I said, And then He pushed the words out, kind of like He's doing right now, and made me talk about my childhood a little bit, and my idea that I've always had, at least for several years, to help foster children transition into new homes and to give the foster parents access to items that they need for the children that they take in. Amen. Thank you, Rex. Then our group started rolling with it, and I'll let Cindy Joe explain all of that because microphones are her thing, not mine. But I hope that our church family will be as excited as our small group is. And with all of this, just know that life groups can really make your relationship with God much, much better and smoother.